Okay, example 6 says that we have an order to give 125 milligrams drug A IV every 6 hours. It comes available from the pharmacy as 125 milligrams drug A is dissolved into 100 milliliters of normal saline, and the facility policy states that we need to infuse drug A at 150 milligrams per hour. So, what will we set the pump for? Now remember, we set the pump for a milliliter per hour. Okay, the facility policy says that we're infusing drug A at 150 milligrams per hour. Okay, so don't just assume that we're going to snatch up that 150. That's 150 milligrams per hour, but we need to figure out how many milliliters per hour we're going to be looking at. So desired answer is milliliter per hour, which means our first fraction needs to be milliliters. So at the in the available is the only place that ever mentions milliliters, right? So 100 milliliters is going to contain 125 milligrams. If they're in the same sentence, it's a pretty good possibility that that's going to be the same fraction. Okay, so 100 milliliters is 125 milligrams. And again, be sure and put milliliter at the top because that is our desired answer. Now, that does shove milligram to the bottom, which means our next fraction needs to have milligrams at the top. And we're eventually going to have to get into something dealing with some time, right? We got to get into hours here. So I'm not necessarily going to pick on that 125 milligrams, but go over here to that 150 milligrams per hour. That's going to be our next fraction, 150 milligrams per 1 hour. And that's going to let our milligrams cancel, leave you with milliliter on top, hour on bottom. So we're ready to do our math. 100 times 150 is 15,000. And we've got a 125 in the bottom, so that should give you a 120 milliliter per hour.